How many pilots or TV series have you written?
Pilots, I have 5 pilots. We're out with 2 of them right now. 2 of them didn't get picked up, but I think there's always a shot. And then one I had optioned for a while, and then it came back to me once the company kind of changed their mandate. So yeah, I've written five pilots, and that's fun. I mean, TV. The great thing about TV is, they treat the writers are kind of like the top of the food chain in TV, which again is how it should be just in general, because again, unless somebody actually writes something, then everybody else, whether it's a director, actors, all the crew, like they don't have a job unless there's something written. Like, so, having a theater background, like, the play was always so important to us. Like, even the director was always like, it's about the written word. And then you move to Hollywood and it's like, writers are below anybody, like the guys that clean the toilets out. It's just, I'm exaggerating a tiny bit, but it really is like, directors, actors, crafty, gaffers, and then the writers like down here somewhere. Because, Hollywood, there's definitely, again, it's that perception of what Hollywood's about. And, there came the time when the auteur filmmakers started wanting to have their names over everything. So it was like a film by Alfred Hitchcock. So it's also like, oh, it's Alfred Hitchcock's movie. The writer, it doesn't matter about them. And then it was, we have this cult of celebrity too, where it's like we idolize celebrities. So then it's like directors and the celebrities kind of became the focal point of everything. And the writers kind of got very lost in the shuffle. And then, but when you get in TV, because you have to crank out the work, and they realize that it's the writers that are actually cranking out the work, and then the directors are hired on and the cast is hired on, but whoever creates the show is usually also an executive producer on it. It has like creative control, so that's why you see a lot of people moving again into television as well, is because it's they just treat writers better. It's just the bottom line, and there's just a level of respect, and it's not even about ego, like you want to be like worshipped. It's just sometimes it really literally is about just respect. Like I had a friend of mine I was talking to today, and they had a cast and crew screening of the movie he wrote and didn't invite him.
Oh, no.
Invited everybody else.
Oh.
Everybody else. And and that's just kind of typical. That's just typical of Hollywood. And it stings when because again, it's so hard to get a movie made, and then you write something, and because of politics or whatever, it's like they just don't invite the writer, and it's like, so it's that's not the only reason to get into TV. There's also something really gratifying about writing something and it comes out like a month later and you can watch it. Whereas in movies, God, you can write something and it never gets made. It gets made 10 years from now, 15 years from now. It's gone through 20 other writers. So by the time it ends up on the screen, you don't even see anything that you wrote left in the movie. So there is something very gratifying about TV, because the turnaround is so much quicker from when you finish a script to when it comes out. But yeah, there is just the way they treat writers in TVs is much cooler, much more appropriate than they do in a feature world a lot of times.
How many attempts have you made to break into television?
Yeah, I think maybe 3 really, because the 2 scripts that I have now, we kind of gone out with them at the same time, and it hasn't really been a concerted effort. It's more like if I get an idea that I feel is better suited for television, I'll do it. But like there was a time that I had a project with a really big producer, and it was our project and another project that she was focused on. The other project like got picked up first and just took off, and so then all of a sudden it's like, well, we can't really focus on 2 at the time. So it's like you get a little bit like
yeah, but
then you just keep going, and then you but again, my focus is on features, but I definitely am interested in the TV world too, because I just like how now there's so many different ways you can write 6-episode like event miniseries now, or you can write anthologies like American Horror Story, or you can write a 22 there's so many different ways that you can write, so there's different kind of stories you can tell. So I'm just interested in exploring that world too, and kind of creating something that's a little bit more, because I grew up watching TV all the time too, so it would be cool to have something on TV as well.